My yellow motherfuckers. I want to go over something very important. So everyone, listen up. This is for the Middle East to take the pressure off the black race, my brothers and sisters, and my wives, and my friends, and for China to know what's going on. Give you an update. Everybody stay frosty. Everybody's doing a great job. My rest is glorious, and I do things during my rest. And the most recent one, I had to take care of Bronson, the Italian, and get past the doctorate of my brother. So that's where I'm at with it. If I say I'm gonna smash your head into the street, smear your brains all over the street with my shoe, that's because they're trying to kill me and kill my wives and kill my friends, Benjamin Living Seal. At the same time, all this is going on. The creatures on my channel and everything else. So pay attention.
Okay, so I wanted to go over these two here. The Frederick George Reinert Jr. Rick. This first one, as you can tell, the Fred is that it's done everything with the car and has eaten the Scooby snacks. It has taken the mask off of all the villains, and it appears that the villains are superheroes or super villains in the smoke, and that they're different when the mask is off. So that has been established. And with the Scooby, since this whole thing is a Kurt Wagner, the Scooby means that it has the chip on its shoulder, like everything's okay. Like he's not worried like Shaggy is, that there's still some evil there. It's all taken care of. So then it's Eric, okay? It's Eric George. So this means that this person has the full Aaron and Eric, like they've reached the full possibility of what's going on with that. They're at George of that. So they're the anointed of Michael. Okay, so they are fully taking on evil and fully enveloped in the battle of the spiritual realms. Now, it's re-inert because this is a paralysis. The of what has gone on with my channels has caused a paralysis, and they are taxes of the house. They're taxes of the house, and their house is established as a fort. That's how they establish it with the Kurt Wagner there, because it's like the church with the stained glass that has drapings. Okay, and these drapings are that what I have established on my testimony, and also that they are wrapping, they are doing the frost of Gladiator, and that they are putting this together in what I called take the key out of it, with my videos that were music, but that also were tricky, getting the actors to have their set position for end times and not be fallen. Okay. And some went that route to show the symbolism that they were fallen. Some went that route anyway, but it made sense with what I was doing. And they're covered. They balanced out. It was a balancing act. And what this person would do is, like, he would calculate and maneuver all of the inner workings of that in those videos. And I called it Take the Key Out of It because I would get no satisfaction at the end of it, but that he had molded it into a balance. And it was a balance because it's Junior. It's Hook UN Extreme R. Okay. So the U is as it can be the sorority of the death, the vampire, and then the N is as war. Okay, so it's Hook Those, which is balance. And a lot of times that means that it's used in a Freddie Prinze Jr. of being fried, and that your breath is taken away and that you are crying. So, and then it's Rick because it's a Babcon that they would see, that this person would see that it was the twins had died, and he was on a three-wheeled motorcycle. And what they were doing was they were they were police Han of their cycle, and he was getting ahead of it. And, like, as Arnold takes John Connor from his bike to the motorcycle, that was being done. Because the life cycle in the Lion King sense of the junk food, which is the actual fasting, was being established. And he was taking the food from the window to the car. And this had never been done. This is a this was done in a kosher manner. And so, and it's also gold because the BC on that the Playboy mansion that the Z character in JWW, he was onto it as as getting away from his grandma, who was trying to take his G away. She was trying to take away his Laodicea, and he was using her to get to what he could not take the key away, but, as I say, take the key out of it on that level. On that level. So right there, you have some major establishments, and the 14 Septi 1925, I wanted to go over because he was versing the adder. It's ad S, and It was an EP, an Emily Price, Michael Clark Duncan of AIB. Okay. So what this means is that he was going against the Vatican, and he was an Emily Price of the Jesus character who he was discovering was his sister. And it's AI B because that is the eye of A, and the eye of A is the Arabian Jesus, and the AIB is also Omarosa Manigault. And what that means is that he was catching all of the E's. He was catching all of what would cause a chewy system of the mystery, and that he was a hook AM of that, and that he was FLR11 extra cray for it. MN ig alt. Okay. So what that means is that he was he was protecting the women. He was protecting the Iggy Azalea and Rihanna characters, people that I protect. He was also protecting, and he was doing that because, now listen to me, because he was versing the Vatican, and because he was an EP of the Arabian Jesus. Now this is in 2018. Okay, so he knew about the dungeons, because when we look at 2018, at that time Lizzo was on the rise, and the Arabian Jesus was in the house and a little bit in the parties, but not a whole lot. She was more in the house. So and that's before COVID-19, where she was completely in the house. So that tells you that he was looking at the astrology, because he knew that something was coming that could change how she was acting, that he could sense something was going on. That took great wisdom. Now, 5 November 2018, this is talking about when he saved his mom in 2013. Now, this was a partnership that is shown by the millstone there. This is shown by the millstone that the partnership was that it was an Avengers. It was the knee to Loki. And that was in California, and then in Houston was where all of the action was going down on a gang level. Mine was with the sellers. You had a seller front, and then you had a gang war front, and that was California and Houston. So the millstone is that it's talking about the BA and the BHB to give you the balance there. And then it's also talking about Matthew Schultz. Okay. So the Matthew Schultz is that he was Ma TT, saved the mom, and that he was extreme GRN of the Shook ULZ. Okay? And it's an S Arforis. So, what that means is that it gives you a full picture. That he knew he was advanced enough to know that what would shake someone of the mystery Babylon and the mystery of the Russians. This is completely advanced, that he knew what was shaking that, and that he knew that he was the arm of Obama. This is before Ariana Grande. So now let's move to this next one of the Julian Jacob bus gang. Now, what this means is that he has an Abigail. Okay, he has an Abigail. And that that he was a balanced of the big Ale. He was balanced of the big Ale. Now, if you fast forward to today, this is what has gone on, where it has been a Chris Evans in Avengers, the last ones. And so the Julian, he has the Abigail, okay? And this is a 12-9, and it's a gale of the weathers. Okay, so what that's telling you is that it has something to do with predator. Now, the Jacob, or the Jacob, is that he's hook a cub. Excuse me, with a K. And this is in the bear sense, that this is the most lethal terrestrial animal. The most lethal. And so from that, that it's without KC, which means that it's extreme GN Mick Kane. Okay, and that it is a cane of the conquering of the sin, full straightened out snake, with the Irish. And that is Irish, is that it's R is H. And that is the Ryan Lochte of the South America graffiti on the wall, which is the Psalm 23 from the iPad Go 2, but that is at a gas station. So it's, again, it circles back to the paralysis, because you're parked at a gas station, and that it was a full life cycle of the motorcycle. Okay, and what I called that earlier on was the Esau. He had an Esau bow, and I called that he was, the way that he would regurgitate on his videos was that he was cycling through what to do next, constantly thinking ahead, and that it was a motorcycle. So it's Jacob in that he is also becoming a Simba in the woods, in the jungle. Okay, and it is a bus gang, because it tells you that this is a Phoebus of the Notre Dame, and that he is on to my anthologies, and also the classics, that he knew that Phoebus is important, that it represents Paul Walker, and that it is a Notre Dame. So then the gang is that there's more than one. There's many of these going on now. And from the Frederick to the Julian, 2018 to 2023, it has become a gang. And that this is a bus, that it is it is a predator. Okay, it has something to do with the back because it's a Phoebus, the Notre Dame. So 26 March 1925 is that BFM or Hook AI BE is that they knew that the Arabian Jesus was hooking something on the radios that they were using, that was the Lewis, that it was the Lewis, and that because this tells you right here 16 September 2023 is that this is telling you that AFS EP TE BO BOBC. Okay. This is telling you that this is 16 September 2023, and it means that the Pleiades of the SE, which is P, which is the 7, and TEB, which is building 7 put together, is OBC, which is the Anakin. And what that means is that that from Jesus being a set position, that they have fully become aware that Jesus is a set position at building 7, and that they are fully aware, and then they have defeated Anakin. Okay, they have defeated Anakin. So what that means is that we know that the creature that has an orangutan body, Lady Deathstrike hands, Garrett feet, Fast Winter Soldier, Great White Shark head, and Anakin eyes, we know that this gang here has defeated the eyes of that creature, the Anakin yellow eyes. That means that they have been burned and set on fire by lava. That is what that means. That is what that means. So if you want to say, well, why would they need to not be at ground level, be in the field? It is because they are not only not in the field. It is because they are ready for a seal from the Earth Woman herself. And they are the only ones on Earth worthy for that at this time. Thank you. Have a good night. This has been about Ben V and the Watchmen.